Hey guys, Adil here. Welcome back to yet another video of TechWafer. Hopefully you are having a great time, and in this video, let's unbox the Oppo F17 Pro and also have the first impression of the device. So without further ado, let's dive into the box. At the top you'll find the Oppo F17 Pro branding, and it also states that the variant that we have has 8 GB of RAM with 128 GB of internal storage. On the left and the right side of the device, you are going to find the Oppo and ICC's branding. At the back of the phone, it states it has 7.48mm ultra sleek body with 30 watts of VOOC flash charge 4.0 and a 6.43 inches Super AMOLED display with in-display fingerprint sensor technology 3.0, and the color that we have is matte black. And right when you open the box, you are going to find the Oppo's F17 Pro device that has these key features mentioned. So we're going to skip that and we're going to remove this cover. So let's do that. There we go. Not bad. And the matte black finish really feels premium. And let's peel off this cover from the back as well. There we go. As you can see, the color is super awesome. Then in the box is this flap that has a SIM ejector pin, Oppo's F17 Pro user guides, and of course a clear TPU protective case for the phone. The Oppo's USB Type-C cable branded with the Oppo's accent, that screen that represents this phone is getting some kind of special charging technology. And you're also getting a 30 watt power adapter in the box. And last but not the least are these Oppo branded earphones. So here's everything that you're getting out of the box: a 30 watt charger, USB Type-C connecting cable, the Oppo's F17 Pro device, a clear TPU protective case, the earphones, and the documentation. Now let's move on to the first impression of the device. Let's start with the design and the display of the smartphone. Oppo's F17 Pro has a thickness that is limited to 7.48mm and it weighs only 164 grams, and that is coupled with a curved plastic back that aids in offering a firm grip to the smartphone. The rear panel of our magic black Oppo's F17 review unit provided by the company has a mix of a matte and a glossy texture, which Oppo calls a shiny matte finish. While the matte texture helps to keep the fingerprint at the bay, the shiny coating throws different shades when you look at the phone from different angles. At the front, the Oppo's F17 Pro has a 6.43 inches Full HD Plus panel, and it is a Super AMOLED panel with 20:9 aspect ratio. And that comes with 800 nits of peak brightness that you are not going to find in any smartphone that falls into this price segment. And it is bright enough so you'll be able to use it under a direct sunlight. The colors on the AMOLED screen are vibrant, and I didn't notice any major off-axis color shifts either. The use of an AMOLED screen allows the Oppo's F17 to sport an in-display fingerprint scanner, and I found the fingerprint scanner to be fairly accurate and also quick. It is definitely not as fast as a side-mounted fingerprint scanner, but it is quicker than a lot of smartphones that has an in-display fingerprint scanner out there. There's also a choice of using face unlock because it is fast, but that is less secure alternative for sure. And I personally prefer smartphones with AMOLED displays because the color and the dynamic range on an AMOLED panel are superb. Let's talk about the performance for a while, and Oppo's F17 is featuring MediaTek's Helio P95 processor, which may not be the most powerful processor in this price segment, but it is powerful enough to get the job done. My day-to-day tasks involves scrolling through social media feed, attending meetings over a smartphone, playing some games, and also watching a lot of YouTube videos. Performing basic tasks on Oppo's F17 Pro is an easy peasy. Not just that, but I didn't find any kind of lag while I was playing games like PUBG and Call of Duty. More on that in our gaming review of Oppo's F17 Pro, and I'll be posting that video shortly. And to watch that, do not forget to subscribe to TechWafer. Overall, I had a smooth gaming experience on Oppo's F17 Pro. The smartphone is running ColorOS 7.2 at the top of Android 10.0, which I am assuming that will be upgraded soon enough to the Android 11. And I personally found the app lock feature of the ColorOS 7.2 to be super amazing because I'm able to lock the apps and stop them from freezing or shutting down in the background. And if you're concerned about the memory, the smartphone is carrying 8 GB of RAM coupled with 128 GB of internal storage, and that is enough memory to keep the apps running in the background. The Oppo skin comes preloaded with some bloatware apps, but they are reduced a lot compared to the previous versions, and thumbs up to the Oppo for doing this. Speaking about the battery life, the Oppo's F17 Pro has 4000 mAh battery that in my experience lasted for a full day even under heavy usage. The company has bundled a 30 watt fast charger that can charge this device up to 100% in 53 minutes, and the cherry on the top is this phone could be charged up to 50% in only 20 minutes. When speaking about the battery life, this phone has an AI feature for the charging that optimizes the charging at night, so it can reach 100% battery exactly in the morning, the time when you wake up. Speaking about the camera setup, the Oppo F17 Pro features a total of 6 camera sensors, 4 at the back and 2 inside a pill-shaped punch hole cutout on the display. The square-shaped rear camera module houses a 48 megapixel sensor with f1.8 aperture, and it is a wide lens, and then there is this 8 megapixel ultra-wide sensor with f2.2 aperture with a field view of 119 degrees. And rest of the 2 sensors on the module are depth sensors with f2.4 aperture, and both are 2 megapixel sensors. And in the pill-shaped cutout, you are going to find a 16 megapixel wide sensor with f2.4 aperture and another 2 megapixel depth sensor with f2.4 aperture. The camera's user interface is quite simple and easy to use. You get a variety of modes like photo, video, night and portrait. You might have also noticed that there is no macro or a telephoto lens on Oppo's F17 Pro. The 48 megapixel quad pixel camera shoots 12 megapixel binded shots that are quite detailed. The colors are great and the dynamic range is too damn good. Even the contrast levels are maintained perfectly and the shadows were all exposed in daylight. It is night when the Oppo's F17 Pro camera struggles. Even though it has a dedicated night mode, but the photos that are taken with the night mode also are introduced with a lot of noise. And I've also found the 8 megapixel ultra wide sensor to take decent photos that are surely great to post on social media, especially for the Instagram. Speaking about the selfies, you are getting a 16 megapixel front camera and a 2 megapixel depth sensor, and the camera does smoothen the skin a little bit, but you can disable that by turning off the beauty mode. Edge detection for portrait mode is quite accurate in most of the cases, and the bokeh does not look artificial, and it's a great thing to have in a camera. Concluding my first impression about the Oppo's F17 Pro, if you're looking for a smartphone that has a thin and light form factor with a decent, or I should say a top-notch design and a decent performance with a Super AMOLED display, the Oppo's F17 Pro is surely the device you should go for. I'll cover more on this device in our full review, so stay tuned for that, and do not forget to subscribe to TechWafer. So thank you very much for watching, see you in the next one, peace out.